on the screen here. Okay, so once again, this is from last year. So enjoy this virtual tour of the courthouse, Manitowoc County Courthouse. Hello everyone, and thank you so much for joining us for another episode of The Coolest Coast. My name is Jason, and today on The Coolest Coast, we're going to explore the historic Manitowoc County Courthouse. You're watching The Coolest Coast.
I'm Jamie Aulik. I am the former Manitowoc County Clerk and current Kiel City Administrator. And welcome to the awesome Manitowoc County Courthouse. It's on the National Register of Historic Places, and this is actually the third Manitowoc County Courthouse. There was one over in Manitowoc Rapids that was built in the early 1850s. And then when Manitowoc, the city, was growing, they decided to relocate into the city. So they bought a block in this location at 1010 South A Street. And as you'll note, 1010 South A Street, the main entrance is on A Street. It's not on Washington Street like a lot of people think. So anyway, they built a second courthouse at this location in the 1860s. And then it just got too small. So what they ended up doing was putting that building up on rollers. A company from Chicago was contracted to do that. And then they put the entire building up on rollers, rolled it over to where the county jail is now, and built this gorgeous, beautiful building. And the construction years were from 1905 to 1907. So Manitowoc County Courthouse is a Beaux-Arts neoclassical Renaissance style architecture building. Oh, that was a mouthful, wasn't it? Beaux-Arts. That is an art academy in France that influenced a lot of architecture in the upper Midwest and the nation from about 1890 to right around the Great Depression, 1929. And what it does is it really brings into account heavy Greek and Roman architecture. That's what Beaux-Arts is all about. So Beaux-Arts, neoclassical, bringing the Greek and Roman style architecture into modernity, Renaissance style architecture. So Beaux-Arts, neoclassical, Renaissance style architecture. That's the Manitowoc County Courthouse. Now, the guy who designed this building, his name is Christian Teigen. You can't be more Manitowoc County than this guy. He was born in Germany, trained at a Polytechnic Institute in Beaux-Arts, and then designed buildings like the Manitowoc County Courthouse, the original Holy Family Hospital, McKinley Academy up on the north side of town. Again, the object of these types of buildings is to basically take something like the Parthenon and then make it into an office building, something functional in the modern age. So that's what this guy was doing, and he was well known around the Midwest. There's actually a sister county courthouse, which looks a lot like this one, built right after the Manitowoc County Courthouse in Oneida County, up in the northern part of the state, which is where Rhinelander is located today. That county courthouse still has its glass dome, and this one does not. It was knocked out by a major wind and hailstorm in May of 1950. People at the time, we didn't have hard plastics or things like that to replace those panels with, those glass panels. So stainless steel is what they chose to replace that ornamental glass. And because they did that, there are consequences when you change architecture, aren't there? It dimmed the light in the main part of the courthouse. And you'll see that by the staircase when you go look. It's actually kind of dark in the Manitowoc County Courthouse. If you go up to Rhinelander and Oneida, it's nicely lit from the exterior inside. But here it's a little dark when you go out in the main corridor. So anyway, what's the cost of the Manitowoc County Courthouse? $238,000 in 1907 dollars. What do you think that equates to? Well, You do a little inflation calculation, and that is about $6.5 million today. So, wow, $6.5 million for this heavily constructed tank of a building that we have here in Manitowoc County. So, what does it have in it? Vault in every single corner is one of the neat little interior features of a courthouse. Why do they have vaults? Now, what's interesting is Manitowoc County learned a very tough lesson with that first county courthouse. There was an inmate who was adjudicated insane. And one of the things he did was when he tried to bust out of the first county courthouse, is the sheriff, it was a little breezy, it was fall, it was cold, he made a fire and left a poker in the fire. So what did that guy do? He reached out the iron bars, grabbed the poker, put it on the interior of his cell, which is wood, of course, it's 1850s, and started the whole thing on fire. So the jail started on fire, which was attached to the courthouse, and that started on fire. So what they did is they took those hard lessons of that first fire and made sure to put vaults in each corner to protect our important county history. And I'll tell you what, the clerk of court at the time, so the person who staffs next to the judge and takes the notes and things like that, they were astute enough to grab all the old historical records and save them. There's actually a poll list from 1838 down in the vault of this very office that I'm standing in. This building has a lot of history in it, and along with that, let's go back to Mr. Christian Teigen. So German-born, German-trained, immigrated to Manitowoc, well-known in the upper Midwest, and he was contracted to build this building. So again, it cost $238,000, $6.5 million today, which, by the way, people then, just like now, didn't like paying taxes. Oh, that was the second most expensive county courthouse at the time it was built. So what ended up happening was people voted with their pocketbooks, and they threw out a bunch of county board members after the courthouse was built. And so you'll see on the exterior of the building, people were so mad about the cost that the next county board, the new one that basically overtook the old one that approved the funding for this building, you'll see little chisel marks on the cornerstone where they actually chiseled off the contractor of the courthouse and the Public Works Board that approved the funding, and it's just a blank tablet on the corner of the building. People were so mad about the cost. So on the interior of the building, there are 4 murals up in the dome area, and each of them is a representation of Manitowoc County at the turn of the century. There's one of industry, one of law, one of the medical field, and then one of agriculture. A couple of other really cool things that are incorporated into the structure of the courthouse are 2 things. One, when we look at the interior space of the courthouse, you'll see 3 different eras of Greek architecture. On the ground floor, you'll see Dorian architecture. On the second floor, you'll see Ionian architecture. And then on the very third floor, right at the top, you'll see Corinthian style architecture. So he was integrating different periods of Greek architectural styles into the building itself. And then as we look outside at the building, you'll see on the exterior 3 different styles of windowsills as well. And it's just these neat little features throughout the building that just make it so unique and so neat.
Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of The Coolest Coast, and a special thanks to Jamie Aulik. Support for this episode of The Coolest Coast comes from Amy Townsend of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Stark Real Estate. Okay, there we are. For some reason it's still playing. Hold on a sec here, guys. Love the live video format here. All right, there we go. So anyway, that was a past episode of The Coolest Coast. Thank you so much for watching it. We got a few great comments. Like it says below in the ticker, thank you so much for supporting, by the way. Thank you so much for viewing and liking and sharing our videos. All that stuff goes a long, long way. We try to promote the best of Manitowoc County, the most positive things we can find, the people and the places. So if you or your business are interested in sponsoring any episodes or being involved with the Coolest Coast, please send me an email. The email is in the ticker below. It's lmcoolestcoast@gmail.com. And I'll respond to your email and we can get you on the show. I'm interested in positive things. I'm interested in positive businesses, people that really want to promote the area as far as tourism and economic development goes. So I hope you're all well out there. I hope you're all being safe out there. And I can't wait to see you outside soon on the Coolest Coast. Thank you so much for joining us. Have an awesome day.